Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in today. I have a really fun idea that I want to share with you and I can't wait to tell you about it. First, I want to explain, the other day my wife and I were on a walk around the lake and I looked down and I found some change. Now obviously someone had dropped it out of their pocket or something, but there was 85 cents on the ground and I picked it up. But then within a few days, an idea came to me. What if I could turn this 85 cents into hundreds, if not thousands of dollars? And instantly I had this idea of the game, bigger and better. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, that's okay. The general idea is this. You're given an item. Usually it's something with no value, like a paperclip. Something that you wouldn't think twice about throwing away. It has no value. You and your friends, whatever group you're in, would take that item. You would go in a neighborhood and you would have a time constraint. Let's say you've got 2 hours. You would go to the first store, you'd knock on the door and you'd say, "Hello, my friends and I are playing this game. We have this paperclip. Do you have an item that is bigger than this paperclip or better than this paperclip that you would be willing to trade with us?" The person in the house would then think about that. Think about items that they have in their house that they wouldn't mind trading with you. Then they would go, rummage around, come back, and hopefully have an item, bigger or better, that they would exchange. So let's say they come back with a hat. It's a hat. It's been sitting in the closet. They don't care about it. It's not worth much more than the paperclip, but it's better than the paperclip. You would then take that hat, go to the next house, knock on the door, and the same thing. "Hey, we have this hat. Would you humor us? Do you have anything that is bigger or better than this hat you'd be willing to trade?" You would constantly work your way up into bigger and better items by trading and slowly one-upping each item. Now, the time I played this, I think we ended up with a snowboard. It was fun to come back and see all the groups that had played this game and what they ended up with. And honestly, just hearing the progression of what they traded to get to where they were was all the fun. And so I want to play this game with my eBay store and my YouTube channel to see, can I take 85 cents and slowly work it up to hundreds or thousands of dollars with time and a little bit of creativity and hard work. Before I show you the item that I've already purchased to sell and get this game going, I want to go ahead and break down some rules. I've got 2 rules I'm going to go ahead and put on this game that just will keep it moving in the direction that I want it to go. And the first rule is this. I can only buy 1 item at a time. I can't take an investment and buy 3 items and then take those investments and then buy 5 items. That would get way too confusing. It's much simpler to take the 1 item, buy it, sell it, take that money, buy another item, sell it, and keep the game moving. So that's the first rule, 1 item at a time. The second rule is this. I have to constantly be going from bigger and better. The item doesn't necessarily have to be bigger in size or in volume than the last item. It just has to be worth more. So that's what I mean by bigger, but definitely better. Because 85 cents doesn't buy much at a thrift store, and right now because of the COVID-19, there's a lot of thrift stores that are just opening up for the first time after a few months being closed. Nothing is on sale. And usually the cheapest item that you can find at the Goodwills that I go to is an item for 99 cents. So I can't even find anything for 85 cents. So rather than start off with 85 cents, I'm going to bump it up to $1. I have $1 to start this first round. And lastly, this isn't really a rule, it's more of an idea. I'm not going to limit myself to where I can buy an item and where I can sell an item, as long as it's legal. I'm not going to limit myself to only thrift stores to looking for an item to sell. I will also include garage sales or online via eBay or Amazon or other areas that I can flip as long as it's going to bring in more money. The second part of that is I'm not going to limit where I can sell that item as well. Meaning I don't just have to sell on eBay. I could flip this on Poshmark or Amazon, or I could flip it locally on a Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, as long as I'm buying an item for a value, I'm selling it for more, and constantly moving up in value. Are you following along with me? Hopefully that's not too confusing. So with this first $1, when I have purchased an item and sold it, I need to bring back more than $1. Obviously, that's how the game works. And I do already have an item, so stay tuned. At the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly the first item. I will show you firsthand which item I'm starting off with to get this game moving. And I'll also add this. This is going to be a project that lasts over several videos, and I'll continue to update you as items sell. I'll explain and break down how much money they brought in and how much I have to go shopping with for the next round. And then I'll explain exactly what I purchased and what I'm gonna list again on eBay. As I go, I'll constantly show you my progress from my initial dollar investment to where I currently am at the time that I shoot a video. I don't really know how long this game is gonna last. It could last forever, but it could also just last the next year. We'll see. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm having fun with it. And I hope that you are enjoying it as well. Now that you have the kind of the basic setup of the game, and you have the rules by which I'm going to be following, I wanna show you the item that I'm gonna be kicking this whole game off with. What did I find for $1? So I'll go ahead and cue this video here to show you exactly what I found. This mug right here. The reason why I picked this, one, I knew all the mugs were $1, and as far as like clothing and electronics and all those other items, you can't find anything for less than a few bucks. So this mug was 99 cents, so it met the criteria. But the really important thing about this mug was it's Star Wars themed. On the bottom there, you can see that it says Disney Store, Star Wars. And this is from the Rogue One movie. It's a pretty nice mug. It looks like it's in excellent condition with no like chips or cracks. The mug is intact and it's in great shape. Star Wars has a cult following. It doesn't matter the time of year. There are always Star Wars collectors out there, people looking for Star Wars merchandise. There's always a movie or a cartoon or a show being released at some point in the year. So it seems like this is always going to be in style to sell. So I'm looking for fast moving items, and this item I believe won't take as long. I'm hoping less than a month. The last thing I want to do to make sure you understand how this works is explain the concept of the value increasing. Now let me just lastly take this mug as an example to explain how this is going to work in determining how much money I have to then buy the next item. I looked this mug up on eBay, and although I don't have a sold listing for this exact mug, there are several mugs out there exactly like this that are used that are being sold. They just haven't sold yet. They're listed, and they're ranging from $15 to $25. I'm gonna go on the low end. Let's say conservatively I sell this for $15 with shipping. So $15 is the all-in sales price. I'm then gonna take the sunk cost of shipping, because it's a fee I don't get back. And let's say it costs $7 to ship this mug. I sold this for $15. I shipped it and it cost $7. I'm now down to $8 left. Then there is one other set of fees that I have to deduct out that is a sunk cost for selling. And those are the eBay fees, which is roughly like 13%. So for this mug that sold for $1.50, I'm just gonna round up and say that the fees were $2. It's probably a little high, but just to be on the safe side. Now it costs $7 to ship, costs $2 to sell, that's $9 total. So I take my $15, I subtract out the $9, and I'm left with $6. So ideally, for the sake of this game, I now have $6 back to go and purchase another item. Whereas before I had $1. So I went from $1 to $6 in this theoretical example. And then as the game plays out, I would take that $6, buy a bigger item or a better item, and hopefully once that sells, I would have $10 or $15 to then buy another item. And if this sounds confusing, I'll keep you updated as I go. There's no sense in breaking down all of this right now, but I just want to give you a general idea. So now that I've explained all that and I've shown you the first item, let's go ahead and list it. So as you can see right here, I've got the listing of the mug on eBay, ready to sell, and for the price that I'm going to sell it for. So let's just hope this sells pretty soon and I can get going on round 2. Once this item sells, I will do another video, show you, and explain the next item that I have. So that's the game bigger and better that I'm playing. If you want to get the updates on where I go from here, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. That way, whenever I post another video explaining where I am in the game, you can follow along. And you can watch me as I go from $1 to hundreds and thousands of dollars. Now, one last thing before I go, I want to ask you, if you've played this game before, leave a comment below and let me know what you started off with and what you ended up with. I'd love to hear. And with that being said, the listing is active, the mug is up. Once it sells, I will post another video. Let's get going and let the game begin.